How you doing, folks? Welcome to Glasgow Legacy Fitness Podcast Episode 1 with me, Daniel McLaren.
And me, Ally Campbell.
And today we're going to be talking about 5 ways to optimise your day. So, how you doing, Ali?
Not bad, mate. Wasn't really expecting this today. I was expecting to come down and talk about the website, and you're like, let's go record the podcast.
A podcast always the way forward. Sometimes it's the best way to get in touch with people and get your message across. So we were having a wee discussion today about morning routines. I think me and you have been kind of totally tailoring our new mornings recently.
Yeah, I think you've been a little bit more successful with yours than mine at the moment. Just a bit too much on my plate at the moment to have any kind of massive structure.
Well, that's a good reason as well. I think you're juggling quite a lot, to be honest with you. I think you should be an octopus, man.
Going on Britain's Got Talent, man. You see how many plates I can spin out, man.
Oh, brilliant. So basically, what we're talking about is the 5 ways to optimise your day. This is a strategy that could really help with setting up your day and setting up your mindset. I mean, this isn't exactly about fixating on a particular training item. It's about setting up your mind for the day and trying to get yourself in that mind frame for when you do attack your training. So I'd like to start off. Number 1 is one of the most important, vital things that a lot of people seem to overlook these days, and that is getting up early. See, getting up an hour before you start work, it's not going to cut it. It's not going to give you the best day out there, and it's not going to give you the best mindset. I mean, Ali, for example, like most training regimes, how do they operate with regards to the morning time?
Yep, again, this is where obviously there's going to be circumstances that it's going to be like you are going to get up an hour before you start training, and if you are doing that, then that goes into the night before, but we'll talk about that later on. But with regards to like how you're setting yourself up, if you are getting up an hour before, then you need to be prepared the night before. But yeah, so a morning routine is basically about having things in place that you do before you actually start switching onto your day. Yeah, so you know yourself, like there's a couple of different methods to it, and I know you've got some of your own, I've got some of my own, and like we just wanted to talk about both of them.
I'll tell you something that is absolutely vital, and this is fact, right? It's not a possible, a maybe. If you get up as early as possible, right, regardless, we all know that we're all exhausted out there, we're all juggling multiple jobs, we're trying to make a lot of things happen, dealing with friends, family, kids, do you know what I mean? It is hectic, but the reason for the early start in the morning, like I've now been getting up at 6 a.m. for the majority of the last 7 weeks, and this is through researching some of the top performing athletes and people that are out there, and trying to take some experience from them and figuring out how do these people keep at the top of their game, how do you accomplish so much in your day. Well, this is the key. The number 1 key to it is getting up early. So think about it like this: in the morning time, you need to take time for yourself. The day is so busy, you're going to have so much on the go, and you're 90% of the time going to be strung out by the time 6 o'clock comes. That's if you're in a kind of busier lifestyle. But getting up in the morning is about you time. It's about development and giving yourself at least an hour or an hour and a half dedicated to you personally. No for anybody else, no for phones, no for the internet, just you. So here's a couple of things that are vital for you to do in the morning. As soon as you get up, out of bed, 5-second rule, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up. No dicking about, no messing about, and no procrastinating. Just get out of bed, get it done. Second one, within this number 1 point, is you need to figure out some form of reflection, some form of meditation, or some form of positive mindset affirmation. In other words, fill your mind up with some things about the good things in your life. Fill your mind up with some of the things that you're looking forward to. Ali, can you talk about potential affirmations?
Yep, massively, man. When I've been at my most productive in my career, and when I've been performing at my kind of highest levels, and I've been at my busiest with clients, what I've found is that I've been going to my bed at 11 o'clock, like regularly, and making sure that I'm switching off all the notifications on my phone as well, about 11 o'clock as well, and then taking a little bit of me time to switch off, go to sleep. I would set my alarm for 5 in the morning, but I would find that I would wake up at like 3 minutes to 5 or something, or like literally like a minute before your alarm was due to go off. It's almost like your body's like, you're waking up at 5 and your internal body clock's like just doing it for you. And that in itself has massive benefits in the sense that when your alarm goes off, it's like, and you're like, fucking shit, what is that, man? And like, it puts you into a state of stress straight away when you hear that alarm going off. So if you're the sort of person that hits snooze over and over again, you're stressing your body every time that alarm goes off, and you're instantly releasing like cortisol into your bloodstream, putting yourself into
and that is first thing in the morning. That's exactly what you don't want first thing in the morning. You need your brain to be optimised. Another reason first thing in the morning is so important is because your mind is more receptive towards any form of input. What you put into your mind the minute you wake up sets the tone for the rest of the day. If you imagine your mind as a sponge, if you start putting dirty water into that sponge, then you ain't going to have a clean wash, you know what I mean? So let's think about that. Can we talk about other attributes for the morning time, what you should do when you get up?
Yep, so straight after, obviously, you get up, you take a couple of minutes, wake yourself up, maybe go and jump in the shower first if that's what you're into, or if you're into having breakfast first, whatever way you go about it. You maybe eat first and then shower, maybe shower first then eat. I again personally prefer just to jump in the shower. Some mornings a cold shower is a good thing as well, maybe not so much in the winter, but
that's a bit of a stoic attribute.
But I've tried out the cold showering, and it definitely freshens and wakens you up sharper and switches you on a lot more. So yeah, a cold shower or in the summer and a really hot one in the winter. After that, I would go downstairs, or in my old house anyway, and I would kind of start looking at making breakfast. But as I was doing that, we're waiting for the kettle to boil or whatever, I would look into like my gratification or my affirmations, whatever you want to call them, and that is just again having a kind of card that you've written out for all the things that you're grateful for in your life, all the things that motivate you, all the things that drive you, all the things that want to make you a better person and to drive forward more. So gratitude / affirmations is the next one I would go for.
Definitely the way forward. And anybody out there that's thinking, who the hell are these guys, these mad hippies? Affirmations, morning meditations. Listen, pal, if you know who we are, we're anything but hippies, and if we are getting it together, then so can you. So, going to move on to number two of 5 ways to optimise your day. Secondary is the initial mental input. We covered that a little bit before, but can you elaborate on the initial mental input?
Yep. So again, it's looking into the positives in your life, and it's looking into the things that want to drive you. So if you want to move on from that gratitude and like affirmations, then you would start to visualize how you want your day to pan out. So if you know, right, I'm going to work, I'm going to go on the bus, like start visualizing what your day entails of and what you need to do to make that successful or to make it the best way it can possibly go. So i.e., if you've got to go and catch a bus at 8:20, don't turn up at the bus stop at 8:19. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Start putting yourself into stress. Give yourself plenty of time to get there. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure everything's laid out for you. Make sure you're organised, and then see your day panning out and like plan out in your head how you want your whole day to plan out. If you're training in the morning, plan out how you want your morning session to be, how much energy you want to put into it. If you train at night time, you would maybe do that a bit later on in the day, but it's about visualising exactly how you want your day to pan out, and then just going and creating your visualisation.
And it's so important, to be honest with you, because if you think, oh, these guys are just explaining something that's so simplistic and it comes second nature to me, then if it's so simplistic and second nature, why is not everybody doing it? Do you know what I mean? It's like building new habits, new positive habit systems into your morning routine, that will then pay off further down the line. If you think the body is one of the most amazing organisms in the universe, do you know what I mean? And if we look after it properly, if we tailor it and we optimise it, we can be so highly efficient in whatever task or whatever achievement or goal that we want to get by just tuning up the machine. In the morning is tune-up time. I know different people maybe have different lifestyles where it may be training in the afternoon rather than the morning, but even if you're not training in the morning, you need, I say again, to take time for yourself and think about the day ahead, because that will set you up for a non-reactive environment, and that means that you won't react to everything that's happening during your day. You'll respond to it because you've already thought about it, and that itself will as another example of highly tuning yourself. So we're going to move on to number 3 in the list of the top 5 ways to optimise your day. And the next one is body fuel. Now this is more your area because I'm a bit lacking in this situation. This has been one of my struggles is diet. My training's great, but my diet needs a lot looked into. Ali, can you talk about body fuel? Why is it important in the morning?
Yep. Again, like, these are just going back to being prepared and being organised. So if you are getting up and you've not got stuff organised, or you don't know what you're having for your breakfast, and you're getting up, you're like, what am I going to have? And you're giving yourself unnecessary work. It's about, again, knowing what you're going to have, having it prepared already, whether it be whatever, oats in the morning, or whether you have a cereal or whatever, I don't know, but it's making sure that your body's fueled correctly throughout the day, and like I said, have an organisation around that. So for myself, again, I'll prep for maybe 3 days at a time, and I'll have everything kind of scheduled for when I'm going to eat it. I'll eat regularly, smaller amounts, more often throughout the day, rather than having like a small amount, one big massive meal, and then another like small amount, another big massive meal. It's trying to keep your body and your metabolism ticking at its most efficient, and the best way to do that is to regulate the blood sugar levels by consistently giving it nutrients at regular intervals without overloading it and without kind of like making yourself feel stuffed, or you'll get a dump in your insulin levels, and then that's when you start to feel lethargic and you get that kind of mid-afternoon slump and stuff like that.
And obviously, if you're going into any form of training, which takes us into your next point, you need to fuel yourself up for that training, because if you don't, by the time you get to work, you will be hitting a brick wall, and nobody likes to hit a brick wall in work, let's be honest. So moving on to number 4, physical exercise. This is number 4 in 5 ways to optimise your day. Morning routine, initial mental input, body fuel, and now we're on to number 4, which is physical exercise. Let's talk about potential physical exercise that you can be taking on before the work and the day starts.
Again, it depends exactly on your routine. I mean, if you start work early, there's a good chance that you're not going to want to get up. Like, if you start work at 7 a.m, you might not want to get up at like 4 a.m. in order to get your head switched on and exercise at the same time. It's obviously not viable for a lot of people. Some people do it, but again, depending on what time you get up at and what time you start work at, you might prefer to train in the morning, you might prefer to train at night. But again, being prepared with the nutrition side of things will set you up for that correctly. And again, obviously, I can help with tools with stuff like that if people are unsure about what they need to do and the best and the most efficient way to do it. But with regards to the exercise, it depends on your fitness level as well. So, for example, some people might be quite a high fitness level and they want to go and do like a really intense, hard workout. Other people might be completely sedentary, might not be doing anything, and that could then just lead into, instead of getting the bus, you're going to walk an extra couple of stops to get the bus, or you could maybe be cycling to work or something, or trying to incorporate some form of whatever it is you need to do to make yourself more active, to cover more steps. I know that like Fitbits and all these sort of things are like the rage just now, so you're trying to just like increase your daily output or your activities for daily living.
I mean, see, as far as our client base, your own clients, do clients generally prefer morning times or afternoons, or is there a consensus of when there's a perfect client time with your experience?
It's a mixture of both, mate, to be honest, and that's the thing as well. Like, I personally prefer to get my training done in the morning because I'm up early anyway. I've usually got clients in, and then I like to go and get the morning class done at the Grip House and like smash myself, and that'll set me up for the afternoon as well. Obviously, suffering with colitis and stuff as well, sometimes I maybe need like a wee hour power nap or something in the afternoon just to set me up for night time as well, because the job is late nights and early mornings, so it can be quite hard. If you're not organised and prepared, then you can find yourself hitting a wall as well like that.
Brilliant, man. Right, so we're taking on to number 5. So number 5 of 5 ways to optimise your day. Number 1 was the time that you wake up at. Number 2 was your initial mental input. Number 3 was body fuel. And number 4, physical exercise. This is on us now on to number 5. What the 5th most important thing for optimising your day is, at the end of it,
preparing yourself for the next day.
That's it. It's absolutely paramount if you want to keep momentum that you prepare to rinse and repeat. How important is routine and momentum, Ali?
It's absolutely pivotal for people, especially if they want to succeed. If you don't set your routines and you don't make consistency with them, then again, you're just going to fall by the wayside at some point. So people might be like, oh yeah, I'll get up, we'll do this, and then they skip a couple of mornings and they follow out the routine and they start pushing the snooze button and all these different things. And like I said, you're just messing with your body clock, because your body will adjust to it. It might take a bit of work at first, but the benefits involved in it are like totally describable, and also underrated as well. I don't think enough people kind of cover how important it is to have these routines in place. So at night, you should really be structuring your next morning so that as soon as you wake up, you're not thinking, oh, what do I need to do this morning? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? You've got it done. You've got it prepared.
And you're not trying to basically give yourself a get out of jail free card by going, oh no, my leggings are in the washing machine, I've not done my meals for the next day. Any excuse not to get out that bed and get done what needs to get done, to be honest with you. Also, I would say that the importance of these actions are not just physical. We at Glasgow Legacy, we focus on the mental first, then that grows into the physical. So in order for you to grow a set of tools, right, you need to start working on the physical after the mental, because you need the mental mindset to keep the physical and the momentum going with it, if that makes sense to you out there.
We touched on it on the weekend, a trial one we did last week, and it's exactly that. It's blueprints and it's foundations, and you start at the foundations and you build your way up. So if you don't put your foundations in place, which is your mindset, your routine, your organisation, your preparation, your visualisation, your gratitude, all these different things, if you don't put them into place, you are fucked with a capital F.
And this is another thing. See when you were just listening to that organisation, like getting everything ready, I bet you this is all starting to sound, oh my God, I've got more stuff to do, this is going to be a nightmare. But you know what you need to remember? This is for you. It's not for anybody else. This is for your development, for your benefit, for your mental health, for you to be happier, for you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, for you to get in that mind space that you are performing and you're at absolute optimisation. This is solely for you. So when you think of it as a task, you shouldn't think it as a task. This is you turning yourself into a machine.
I think as soon as you actually implement these things into your life as well, you realise how much easier things can fucking be, man. Like, they don't have to be as stressful as you're making them. You can make things so much easier on yourself, and you can take so much pressure off yourself and enjoy what you're doing so much more if you just give it that little half hour at night, that little half hour in the morning to get yourself in the right mindset and stay positive and focus on the good stuff, rather than dwelling on, oh man, I got a parking ticket today and
Exactly.
I'm raging about that, and
I'm hearing you, man. I'm hearing
punch
you.
that traffic word right in the teeth, man. Like, and it's irrelevant to your actual big picture. It's just part of life, and like stuff comes, kicks you in the balls, gives you a little slap in the face. But if you focus on that and that negativity and that downside to things, it's like, do you know what? I got a parking ticket. It needs to be paid. Pay it. Shut up. Deal with it.
That's it. Move on. I mean, there's a lot of attributes to reasons why not to keep up routines and good habits and things like that. As things offset you, you get things that just come your way through the day and you have no idea what's been on. Then it totally takes your mindset in a different place. I'm going to give you a wee bit of mental tool information, right? There is only two things in this world or universe you can control, and that is your thoughts and your actions. Okay, so that's your thoughts and your actions. They're the only two things within your direct control. Now, if you think about external circumstances and things happening to you that you can't control, don't get yourself upset about it. Don't get worried about things that don't matter. Don't get strung out or stressed or angry about things that don't matter, that are not within your control. Here's an example. You don't like your job at shit, go find another job. That's in your control. You're not bringing in the amount of money and your living or your job that you want. That's in your control. Just make changes. There's some things that are within your control and there's some things that aren't. But number one that is your thoughts and your mindset. So have a wee think about that maybe until next week's podcast. It's quite nice to play about with.
Just adding on that as well, I think as much as you are in control of your thoughts and actions, you need to remember that you cannot control anyone else's thoughts or actions.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And a lot of people put too much like onus and respect into other people's thoughts and opinions. Who gives a fuck what anyone else thinks? This is your life, and if you want to set it up correctly, then ignore anyone round about you that you would not swap places with.
Exactly. That, do you know what? That is a banging piece of advice, because at the end of the day, this is your life. It's you see when you look in the mirror. You're the person that you want to do whatever it is that you want to achieve. So why give a fuck about what anybody else thinks? This is about your future, your happiness, your mental health, your well-being. So 5.
It's all about your legacy and what you want to leave, man.
It totally is. What legacy do you want to leave behind? Like, look at your digital footprint in 10 years and realise that you weren't doing exactly what it was you wanted to do with your life. So I know this sounds all a bit extreme and stuff like that, but see, at the end of the day, we know exactly what we're talking about. We're first-hand evidence and experience of it. So I hope this podcast has gave somebody some form of value, got you introduced to me and Ali, and kind of seen the podcast going to be evolving over the next 4 weeks. So I'm going to just give you a recap. This was 5 ways to optimise your day. Number 1 was the time you wake up at. Number 2, your initial mental input. Number 3, body fuel. Number 4, physical exercise. And the final one, number 5, rinse and repeat. Prepare for the next day. So, Ali, before we sign off, if anybody's interested in getting in contact with yourself, can you give us the details, where to follow, where to go, and who to mail?
Yep, man, you can get me primarily on Instagram at Glasgow_legacy_fitness, and on Facebook, if you just search for at Glasgow Legacy, then you'll find me on either of those, or just search Ally Campbell on Facebook.
Anybody wants to get in touch or discuss any of the points that we've been discussing here, or find out more information, then that's the route to go.